I don't know why I felt the need to explain my self-defense preferences to you. Really, it's all a matter of preference. I want to backtrack and say I sounded kind of pretentious. This is just what works for me. I'm just advising in a friendly way that you be prepared in a situation where violence, physical violence, is threatened upon you. This hardly ever happens. Most people are super chill, friendly, treat me like a sage, honestly, like with so much respect. This was more of an issue when I was younger because honestly, you don't get to where I'm at with physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially without going through some scuffles in your life, be it with intimate partners or strangers. I can count on just my fingers a few times I was put in a sticky, hairy situation living in far places, Seattle, far away from my hometown and my home city, where I had to be prepared. And I learned quickly that, well, let's just say I didn't want to be unprepared for that again. I didn't want to be caught with my pants down. So what I'm implying is soon we might be put in a situation where we're going to be in tense situations with each other, given that the collapse is right around the corner. And I was just watching this Golden Corral footage of people throwing chairs and shit, just absolutely out of control. I'm just advising you be the preemptive strike, that if you feel the tensions are so elevated, you make the move, you subdue them, or you get away. But either way, when collapse comes, you're not going to worry about police reports. I mean, the past 10 years have been desperate, guys. It's been living like through the Great fucking Depression, okay? It's not been a joke. When you funnel that much amount of money to the upper wealthy class, and it destabilizes an entire generation. Most men I know have just their souls sucked out. I tell them collapse is coming. They're just like, please bring it. Send up the nukes. This has been not a pleasant time, okay? And it's made people really desperate over the past 10 years and crazy, and with the introduction of smart drugs, synthetic drugs, stuff you don't know what it is. I mean, you guys experienced that in the 80s and 90s, but it's a whole new pharmaceutical market now, and people are all... when I was younger, I would just say that people tried to lure me, deceive me. That's kind of changed. I guess I'm more formidable now. I'm more of a adult looking, which has its pros and cons. Girls don't want to talk to me as much as they did when I was 21 or 22, for instance. But also with that came trouble. And I mean, I can recall a scene from Keith Richards' book Life. And you can imagine Keith Richards is a pretty skinny guy. They were all like heroin addicts. Katie's gonna be playing with the wire, so I gotta grab her. Anyways, he was at a Keith Richards in this book. He explains a situation where he was put like under pressure. He was at this boat ferry dock trying to get across somewhere in Europe. They had like a mansion. They recorded one of their albums. They'd like go like into the story of how they did it. Really unique sound engineering. Anyways, he was trying to get a ferry across, and he's with his friend, and he could feel like these ferry people weren't legit, and they were about to hustle them for money and their life. And he just explains how he picked up the nearest thing to him, which was a chair, and just threw it at them and made for the door. And it was just like this huge scene. Like, yeah, man, shit happens, guys. Women, I feel like women, not to point you out, but like, you can kind of play the sexy card and be like, oh, let me love you. You just need like a son. No, with men, it's like, no, shit's about to get real. It's like, people flip. So now to the title of the video. YouTube decided to think that I was against guidelines for wearing masks and social distancing and getting vaccine, which is totally not the case. Even though they deleted a video that I posted, I followed up with on my other video, basically saying like, you can't dispute the Mayo Clinic. Okay, stop being a whiny baby. Just get the freaking thing. And it's about base principles. It really is. That's a big deal to me. Like I said, you don't get to where I'm at physically, financially, emotionally without a sincere amount of trust and cooperation. I mean, it's everything, guys. Like, I remember having this girl in my car, and she was going to work for like IBM or something, and she went to like A&M, or I told her I didn't finish college, or I started to go back, but I've just been grifting, and she's like, man, it's everything. That's everything. You literally have an education and your life is taken care of, or you live down this like wretched path of like paycheck to paycheck, struggling for survival, and then God forbid you were out partying like me and living in. This is my character. I'm open to experience. I was seeking adventure, and I put myself in hairy situations. So I don't want to lament on that much further. Kind of backtracking. Point is, the video that I posted got struck. I'm not monetized yet anyways. I doubt I'll ever get to 1,000 subscribers at this rate. People just can't handle the truth. I gotta turn off the fridge. And then someone else commented and said, well, does it matter when we're all going into collapse? It's like, shut up. We still have some, like, for now, like, that won't even be an issue. Getting vaxxed will be like it'll be an issue, it'll be with the top 3 issues, but then we'll be worrying about freaking food on our shelves and water first. You know, and I don't know, I guess I'm being self-critical and self-judgmental, but like, I see why Beryl and like the rest, I don't mean to make fun of them. Like, you know, why no one's reached out to like interview me, because I'm just a punk, maybe. I'm the doomer punk. I'm the doomer homie. You know, Beryl and guys over here freaking publishing, you know, scientific like peer-reviewed papers on like the limits of upper human adaptability in extreme climate, and I'm over here like, you know what, live life, and like, you know, this is happening. So I'm not gonna go backwards and go back on my statement or touch on. I had to do some pruning. I'm not gonna touch on shot stuff again, okay? Because it's like there's too much red tape on YouTube. So I'm just letting you guys know. I'll mention news, but I won't go into it. I had to clear the air about that shit. Do some channel pruning. Like my hand gestures. I kind of flipped out and was like, mad, this happens. And once in a while, and I deleted, you know, one of those like fit moments where you're pissed. So I deleted all the news for the past 4 days. I mean, I vaguely remember it, but like not the exact things. But I mean, what else do you need to know? Like a winter storm hit 150 million of us. Russia and the U.S. are slapping sanctions, or we're slapping sanctions on Russia already. More troops are building in. 8 billion people, psychos running around the fucking planet. I mean, what else do you need to know? Shit's crazy right now. It's a complete chaotic shit show. You have people protesting in Canada. Paul's posting those videos. There was people shot in Houston and New York and in LA. There's just shit everywhere. Shit's like crazy right now. We're like steaming in our way into collapse. Meanwhile, in the rearview mirror, in the window, while all this shit's happening, playing out like a movie, the freaking world is on fire in the background. And everyone's too dumb to look at it. They're playing PUBG. I played PUBG today. I got to, I won my first round. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Every game is like that now. It's a survival game. It's like drop in, battle royale, Hunger Games, get the shit, go, survive. And it's got me in that survive. Everything's in a survive mentality. Survive. It's rough. So my point is, I have the most proficient ADHD, and what's happening is going to be more of like a commentary thing. I'm just going to go through my like memory of what happened during the week, and I'm going to mix it up, because in creative stuff, you do the same thing over and over and over. You get caught in that rut, which is good. You build new connections if you want to do something new. But then you do that and it gets a little stale, and for my creative, linguistic, talking, processing ability, I'm just going to commentary on the week and just kind of go through instead of this rapid fire news review. So it'll resume next week. And plus I'm exhausted, like keeping up with, I've gone 42 times straight. Nuts. I'm confident, snowed in. We got a foot of snow here. A foot. People claiming I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. No, please show. I'm not going to get cocky. Just show me another 33-year-old that's talking about the extreme climate situation that we're in. If you could find one, put it in the link. I've been looking, I just don't see anyone else in proximity talking, and in my age group talking about the truth. Actually taking Don't Look Up literally. I mean, I was talking to some smart guys online today you build great teamwork. Like when you're teamwork together and you're coordinating, 4-man team, you talk about shit. And when I bring this up to them, I tell them exactly, 8 years, global food supply chain problem, global food crisis, mass migration, 3 times as bad as World War II, at least, in terms of people displaced and fucking chaos. And this guy's a programmer for Guild Wars, is an IP, does internet technical shit, and is still like, wow, that's crazy. Like, then there's just that point where it's like you just don't even want to fucking see it. And I read this New York Times article about that today. It had this really great snail art, like snails, like they took pictures, great creative photography stuff, and like fire, the earth burning, and it's such a hyper object that it's so all encompassing. It's exactly what my audience feels here. It's like we came from it, we are born into it, it's all around us, and yet it's ending us. It's ending us. Like all the kitties in Egypt, just buried. No one will pick up our bones. You're right, Bob. You're right. Okay, so no more copyright strike violations. Monday's What's Happening is going to be more on the chill note. I will read slower. I read fast because I doubt people can't even make it to the end of my videos. Like that, I'm thinking rushing, like I got to talk fast because I see the marker. They only make it halfway through, and I don't get 30 likes on what's happening in the world. I'm not attached to outcomes, but little goals are nice, and being prepared and being able to defend yourself. Or else you end up like a domesticated house cat. Fucking worthless. Definitely worthless soon. You can bet your ass on it. Love you, folks. Catch up with you soon. Bye.